The slap echoed through the crowded village market like thunder. For a moment, everything froze. The women bargaining over tomatoes fell silent. The children stopped running. Even the old men seated beneath the great baobab tree turned their heads. A young girl stood in the middle of the dusty road, one hand pressed against her cheek. Her name was Amara. She was known throughout the village as the ugly girl. Dark-skinned, thin, dressed in old patched clothes, with a faint scar running from her left eyebrow down to her cheek. Amara had spent her entire life being mocked. Children whispered when she passed. Women pitied her. Men looked away. But today, the humiliation was worse than ever. Standing before her was Lady Naya, the chief's proud and beautiful daughter, wrapped in bright royal fabrics, gold bangles glittering beneath the afternoon sun. Her eyes burned with pride and cruelty. "How dare you touch the silk I brought from the city?" Naya snapped loudly so everyone could hear. Amara's lips trembled. I only picked it up because it fell." Before she could finish, slap. Another strike landed across her face. Gasps spread through the market. Naya pointed a finger at her. "You filthy village rat. Stay away from things that belong to people above your level." Cruel laughter rose from a few women nearby. Amara lowered her eyes. She had grown used to pain. Ever since her mother died, she had lived alone in a tiny mud hut at the edge of the forest. People whispered that she was cursed. Some said the scar on her face was a mark of bad luck. Others said no man would ever love her. But what no one knew was that Amara carried a secret powerful enough to shake the entire kingdom. That same evening, as the village prepared for the annual moon festival, Amara walked alone toward the river. Tears rolled silently down her cheeks. The orange sunset painted the sky like fire. She knelt beside the water and gently touched her swollen face. Then suddenly, a deep voice came from behind. "Who did this to you?" Amara turned sharply. Standing beneath the shadow of an acacia tree was a tall young man in a dark cloak. His face was partly hidden. But his eyes carried power. This was Prince Jabari, the heir to the throne. Yet in the village, everyone knew him only as a mysterious traveler who often wandered alone. Amara quickly stood. "It is nothing." Jabari stepped closer. His voice softened. "It is never nothing when someone hurts the woman I love." Amara's breath caught. For 2 years, Prince Jabari had secretly visited the village under the cover of night. He had first met Amara when she helped him after his horse was injured near the forest. Unlike everyone else, he had seen something extraordinary in her. Kindness, purity, strength. And over time, forbidden love had blossomed. But their love was dangerous. The royal family had already arranged Jabari's marriage to Lady Naya. A political union. A marriage of power. No one could ever know about Amara. Because hidden beneath the simple necklace around her neck was a royal engagement pendant. A pendant Jabari himself had given her in secret. She was already his bride by sacred vow. A forbidden bride. Meanwhile in the palace, Queen Adana sat upon her golden throne, her face cold and unreadable. "The prince grows distant," she said. Beside her stood Naya, smiling confidently. "He will marry me at the moon festival. Once he sees what I have prepared, he will forget every village girl in this kingdom." The queen nodded. Neither of them knew the truth. Jabari's heart already belonged to someone else. The next day, the entire kingdom gathered for the grand moon festival. Drums thundered. Torches lit the pathways. Women danced in bright red and gold wrappers. The chief announced proudly, "Tonight, our prince shall choose his future queen." Cheers exploded through the crowd. Naya stepped forward in breathtaking attire, certain of victory. Then suddenly, a voice rang out. "Stop!" The crowd turned. Amara stood at the entrance. Her old dress fluttered in the wind. People began whispering instantly. "The ugly girl. What is she doing here? Has she gone mad?" Naya's face twisted with rage. You dare show your face here after yesterday? She stormed forward and raised her hand again. But before her palm could land, Prince Jabari caught her wrist. The crowd gasped. Silence swallowed the festival grounds. Jabari's voice turned to ice. You will never touch her again. Naya's face turned pale. What? Jabari stepped beside Amara. Then, before the entire kingdom, he removed the royal pendant from beneath her dress and raised it high. Golden moonlight struck the symbol. The royal seal. The sacred bride's mark. A wave of shock spread through the crowd. Queen Adana stood in horror. No. Jabari's voice thundered across the gathering. This woman you insulted. This woman you called ugly. He turned toward Amara, his eyes full of love. Is already my wife by sacred vow. The crowd erupted in disbelief. The mocked village girl, the scarred outcast, was the prince's bride. Naya staggered backward, humiliated. Her lips trembled with fury. She is nothing. Look at her. She is ugly. Jabari's expression darkened. Ugly. He faced the people. You mocked the scar on her face, but do you know how she got it? No one spoke. Jabari continued. When I was a child, I was attacked in the forest by a wild leopard. Gasps echoed. She saved my life. The crowd stared at Amara. Jabari's voice broke with emotion. She was only 10 years old. She stood between me and death. He gently touched the scar on her face. This scar is not ugliness. He looked at everyone. It is courage. Silence fell. Many villagers lowered their heads in shame. The same girl they had mocked for years had once saved the future king. But Naya was not done. Her pride could not accept defeat. That night, consumed by jealousy, she secretly set fire to Amara's hut. Flames rose into the dark sky. People screamed. Amara was trapped inside. But before the fire could consume everything, Prince Jabari rushed through the flames and carried her out in his arms. The village watched in stunned silence. A prince risking his life for the ugly girl. At that moment, everyone understood. This was not pity. This was true love. The next morning, Queen Adana summoned Amara to the palace. The room was silent. For a long moment, the queen simply stared at her. Then she spoke. Do you know why I once forbade this marriage? Amara lowered her eyes. No, your majesty. The queen sighed deeply. Because your mother was my sister. Amara froze. The world stopped. Queen Adana's eyes filled with tears. You are royal by blood. Shock consumed the room. Amara was not merely a village girl. She was a lost princess. Her mother had fled the palace years ago to protect her from a deadly succession war. The scarred girl everyone mocked had royal blood flowing in her veins. Days later, Prince Jabari and Amara were married in the grandest ceremony the kingdom had ever seen. The same villagers who once laughed now lined the streets, throwing flower petals at her feet. Amara walked with grace and quiet dignity. No revenge. No hatred. Only strength. As for Naya, her cruelty was exposed before the kingdom, and she was exiled from the palace forever. And so, the girl once called ugly became beloved by the entire kingdom. Because true beauty had never been in the face. It had always been in the heart. And sometimes, the one the world rejects is the one destiny chooses for the throne.